All right, guys. Today we're going to do solving matrix equations that requires an inverse. So, solving matrices with inverse. Okay, so let's say the technical formula is this. You have something AX equals to B, and all of these are matrices. Okay, this is a matrix. This is the matrix that we're looking for. Here's another matrix. So to solve for the matrix that we're looking for, to solve this, I know technically say, hey, you just divide by A. But in this case, in matrices, you can't divide by this A. Well, not say you can't. Okay, let's say we can. Let's do that. We get X equals matrix B over matrix A, which returns to as A inverse. If I put the power up above, it becomes A inverse times B. So in order to find this matrix that we're looking for, you have to take the inverse of this augmented matrix times this matrix. So for instance, imagine we have this 4, -2, -7, 2 times x, and it doesn't have to be x. It could be any variable that we wish it to be, equaling -6 and 12. Now, one way that you can tell what the answer should be is by these rows and how many columns here. I'm sorry, I should have said columns and columns. This is 2 by what? 1. So I should say 2 rows. The answer should have 2 rows. The rows are determined by the column because when you do the inverse, that flips it. So these becomes the rows. So I got 1 row, 2 row when you do the inverse. So I got 2 rows by 1 column. So I know the answer should be a 2 by 1. So in essence, X would be the inverse of this matrix times this matrix. So now you have to find the inverse of a 2 by 2, which we showed you how to do. Or you can use your handy dandy calculator to do it. All right, so matrix is right here, see it? So I'm gonna do second matrix, and I wanna go to edit. So I wanna make that first one as a 2 by 2. So when you hit edit and you see it's on 1 right now, it's a 2 by 2, but when you hit enter, you can put 2, enter, 2, enter, and it changes it to a 2 by 2. Now plug in your matrix right here. 4, enter, -2, -7, and 2. You just entered A. That's it. Now we want to go enter matrix B. So second matrix, edit, go down to B. And as you see, it's a 2 by 1. So 2, enter, 1, enter. I'm going to put -6 and 12. All you're doing is just putting your matrices in. Now get out of this. So we want the inverse of the first times the matrix, the second matrix. So I'm going to do second matrix. I'm going to recall the first one. I'm going to say inverse times the second matrix. I just pushed the number 2 to do for matrix, or you can scroll down to whatever. And here we go. Your solution should be -2 and -1. I mean, that's all there is to these. Now, if this is on the other side, remember, it's always the inverse of this matrix next to the one that you're looking for times the other matrix. So if I had this reversed, if I had this one on this side over here, I still would have to take the inverse of this times that. And that's all there is to these. I mean, if you don't have a graphing calculator, then you have to do the inverse of a 2 by 2. which we showed you, 1 over the determinant, flip these and minus those. And I don't think we're going to go into a 3 by 3 because we usually use the graphing calculator for this. So I just wanted to show you where the inverse comes into play. Why do we need the inverse? It's when we're solving stuff like this. Some matrix times another matrix equals to this matrix. Figuring out what that is, it's always going to be the inverse of whatever you have times the other one. So, it's simply straightforward. That's all we have to do. Again, this process here depends on if you have a graphing calculator or not. We showed you how to do the inverse of a 2 by 2. We showed you how to do an inverse of a 3 by 3. Okay? But if I have a calculator, it will automatically do it for me. Like I said, these are just different algebraic ways to solve a system of equations. All right, I'm going to send out the homework. You just do 2 through 14 evens. All right, 2 through 14 evens. All right, guys. And I'm sorry about yesterday. I was so busy with seniors and grading and all that some stuff. So next up is a good way of algebra, doing so many things with matrices with algebra. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.